I love it when something that is special enough to be a Today Special Value comes back after being a Today Special Value and then is at a lower price than even it was as a Today Special Value. Did you follow all that? That is this. These are Miz Mooz, a father-son brand out of New York City. Like very cool, very bespoke, and very supple, chic, almost like tumbled leathers. And these, called the Flaire, were a Today Special Value, almost inspired by an ankle boot because you see all of that kind of upper foot coverage in this. So if you're not the lover of a skimpy sandal because you're not the lover of your own feet, this is a very cool gladiator inspired. And now they are lower priced than they were as a Today Special Value in February. That was $129. Now today they became $89. They are never coming back. So here's what you can choose. As I invite out Christy Turner, Miz Mooz, the brand ambassador, starting down here, always a favorite for me, which is really weird because I don't normally love brown shoes or brown anything.
But in this style.
But in this style, and frankly, in Miz Mooz, because your browns are like these beautiful, like barrel-aged whiskey colors.
Like so never one tone.
Never. So here's your brandy, okay? Zippered to get in, so much padding, your feet will sing. Then moving down the row, here is linen. River, super cool. Aloe, I just put it on. Fuchsia, very limited. Black, again, black, fuchsia, aloe. River, linen, and then my favorite brandy. And they're even better priced in medium and wides than they were several months ago as a TSV.
It's like mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing.
This is like it. And this is Miz Mooz. If you've never tried Miz Mooz before, this is the actual, like to me, the hybrid of what we do so well. It's all the design details, the styling of it, the way we have this sort of sandal meets gladiator meets boho meets a little bit of like an ankle boot almost. This is a now shoe as well. We talk all the time about dressing for those transitional times here. We have not entered into those warm summer days yet.
Oh no.
We are TikTok waiting for that to happen. But for these days when it's still a little bit cooler in the spring, but you want to have your toe open, you want to have your heels showing, this is that perfect option. Look how gorgeous. The combination of the whip stitching detail, the hand burnishing, the ruching of the leather, which is so signature to the brand. And then what we did with that leather is that's stamped, that's that embossing, that is so gorgeous. And if you're able to get close up on it, I don't know if you can, the detail alone, this is that artisan quality that we talk about with Miz Mooz, the craftsmanship. You can see such fine detail in that embossing, almost where it looks like tulle in the background, like a piece of lace. I mean, that is so fine and so gorgeous. That's matched with our smooth leather where you can really see those highs and lows of the leather. It is absolutely stunning. Easy to get in and out of, floor to ceiling zipper, padded back collar. I mean, this has puffiness to it. This is like thick and gorgeous. And then you have a piece of goring in there. So this is gonna take you all day long.
They are phenomenal, and they were phenomenal at $129 as a TSV. They're phenomenal at $185 at regular retail. They are $89 now at a sale price that just got marked down today, and they have that gladiator flavor, covers the foot, so you'll get so much more kind of seasonal wear out of them because you'll keep them in your rotation well into fall. It's not the skimpy like thong sandal that you're gonna pack away the minute it is September 1st. And you'll start wearing them now, even though it's not skimpy sandal season, because they really live in a category that's more like a full shoe, almost inspired by an ankle boot, but with a little heel and a little toe kind of cleavage. And I have to say, medium and wides, these are European sizing. So if you want to throw up the size chart, if you want to address a little Euro sizing.
That would be great. Yes, super easy, very true to size. In Flaire, all you have to do is go down the left-hand side of our chart to find your US size, and you'll go to the right to find your European size. Because we do offer this exclusively in wides here at QVC, what we recommend is if you're on that, say the shorter side of the 9, go ahead and stick with the 39. Otherwise, jump up to the 40 and you can do the same with the 9.5. I'm wearing a 39. I'm an 8.5 in my US size, and in Flaire, I'm wearing a 39 and it fits beautifully.
650 pairs ordered, like 400 people on the phone lines trying to place an order. everybody realizing that this is lower price than even when it was a Today Special Value. And it's not a highly niche, skimpy sandal with shells and crystals that are adorable, and like raffia laces, adorable. But like, we're looking at a narrow window for a shoe like that.
Right.
These are like, I would start wearing them in March, and I would keep wearing them through late October.
Exactly, and that's just it. I find this to be that shoe, like, you know, we've talked a lot about in like the past year or two where we're saying like, oh, ankle boots have like a warm weather moment. We're seeing them with dresses and skirts. But you may not want to go that route. That might be a little too far for you. You might be like, you know what? I like to have my toes out. I like to have my heel out. I like a little ventilation in those warmer months. This is that great alternative, but you're still getting that beautiful look.
The colors are, again, this is brandy. The back heel strap, like the leather has already been pre-worked, pre-tumbled. It's kind of like in its gorgeousest, rawest, most supple state, not stiff. So like back here, padded, goring for stretch, but will never rub or blister. This is your brandy. Linen is so interesting compared to like straight white.
Absolutely, but it goes so great with your whites. I love to wear linen when I have like a white pair of jeans on. It's a great combination.
Navy is actually called River.
Very denim friendly.
Fuchsia, love the vibrancy of her.
Isn't that great? And it's done in this kind of dusty way. It's like, to think you could have a dusty fuchsia, like, I don't know how they pull this off, but it's magic.
Aloe.
Yeah, and I love that you're wearing the aloe with the like a corally colored top, and it totally works.
And then black.
Of course, your black option. Isn't that great? Now look at that. Now I would love to point out this too. You're not sitting, even though this is a lower profile for us, this is one of our most popular constructions because you're not sitting completely flat. You have just a little bit of lift there in the back, but look at that outsole. This gives totally active, and it feels that way when you're wearing it, that you're gonna think, okay, I can do everything and anything in this, no matter where the day takes me into the night, this is gonna work.
And it's got this little like micro wedge, like a little demi wedge.
Right.
It's just enough to not be completely board flat, but yes, you have an incredible, extraordinary pillow of under heel padding, married with the shock absorption of what is a rubberized outsole, and then a little bit of that demi wedge. Can you explain, because I think your logo, if you guys can see it, can you see it?
That's
Miz
so cute.
Mooz, can you see it? Your logo, Miz Mooz, it really is the brainchild of a dad and a son who have European roots but live in New York City.
Absolutely. Family owned and operated to this day still. They knew that women in New York City were kind of wearing the not so cute shoes to get to where they were going, and then changing into the fashion shoes when they got there. And they had access to these incredible, ethically sourced, carefully sourced leathers out of Europe. They have offices in Italy, and they just knew, you know, we could do so much better. We can really create beautiful, custom, carefully curated lines that have this really unique quality to each and every pair. You can, you know, all of the shoes are made by European artisans, and you see that with each and every pair. But then they wanted them to also have, because it's a New York brand, that infinite wearability. Take them out of the box. You don't have a big break-in period. You're able to wear them all day and not have to think about it. And that's so important to them, but also it's styled in such a way, you're gonna be able to pull this out of your wardrobe season in and season out. I love that you were mentioning that niche shoe, that one that you're like, I gotta have it, but you know you're wearing it maybe 1 or 2 times with one certain outfit, maybe during 1 month of the year. This isn't gonna be that shoe. This is an investment piece that you're gonna be able to wear over and over and over and over again.
They are incredibly comfortable. I mean, really almost as if they were born on your foot. That's the nature of the really unrivaled, supple leather story. And yet in this style, the leather has been kind of tooled and embossed to look like almost like eyelet lace. And then the whip stitch, so there's like a texture story. Then their leathers, typically in their boots and their sandals, they already pre-fold them, so the leathers look like they're kind of collapsing on each other. So you get those ridges and those folds that are so organic to fabric that you would never see that detail in like a pelt of leather. And I've just always loved the way your color palette and the way they approach leathers. It's a very, it's kind of like a hipster, bohemian, you know, and in this style, looks very like Cleopatra, Grecian. Just love it.
It's this fluid style. I mean, you can kind of pick up different hints of different genres, your different decades. I mean, they do vintage, but make it modern, but make it approachable. It's so unique that it almost becomes an experiential brand. You could picture yourself in Italy, sitting in a bespoke shoe shop where you're just sitting down and you're like, this was almost custom made just for me. That's the kind of detail and craftsmanship that goes into each and every pair, which makes them so beautiful and so different. I love something when my girlfriends stop me and say, you know, where did you get the shoe? Now with me, of course, my friends know. They know exactly where my shoes came from. Every last pair is Miz Mooz. But I love that. I think it's so great when someone's like, where did you find that? It's just different and no one else has it.
Agreed. Can you show everybody like a tour of the upper too? Because I don't think until you really get close up on it, you realize this embossing story that really, it kind of gives such depth to the leather.
It does, and it's such a great texture, and it works as a texture. So if you were gonna wear, let's say you're wearing a floral print, or you're wearing a plaid over the summer, any kind of design, you're never gonna have a conflict with the print that we have on the shoe. It just works as a great sense of texture, but it does. It looks like a piece of lace. It's so fine, even down to the detail in the background, it almost gives like that tulle. The top stitching detail, look how pretty that is, that almost braided. But again, we're looking at, on this aloe, you can appreciate the hand burnishing, the highs and lows of the leather. You and I could both buy a pair of the aloe and neither is gonna look the same because it's just different. Every piece of leather has its own patina and it takes on its own shape, but not overly structured, totally comfortable and gorgeous.
1,200 pairs ordered. We are busy on the phone lines. We ask for your patience. QVC.com is always a great way to kind of circumvent the wait on the live phone lines and check out of your cart because these are never ever coming back and they just got marked down to their lowest price ever. Thanks.
Thank you.
So excited. Couple things. Our today's special value